Imagine if instead of Godzilla was in the events of 2014. Imagine if Kong with his Beast Glove and Charged Axe was in there instead. What would occur then? This will be a follow-up to the 2014 video essentially, where I cover the power level of 2014 and how he would face against Kong. So I recommend you kind of follow that up first, and I will be going off of the reasonings I provide in that video a lot. So, first things first, we already know that even with his weapons, G24 would still smack Kong when he starts to try. So, would the Muto scale enough to win? So, the Mutos could leave massive wounds and marks in Godzilla's chest, back, and gills. However, the gills are obviously a more weak and sensitive spot for Godzilla. So, but either way, the Mutos could do pretty damn good damage. Even individually, they could, specifically the male, could do several strikes on Godzilla, even drag him around the city a bit. For the female, even survived 2 shots from the atomic breath. However, the third would have killed him, most likely. And in fact, the female took a similar stomp to Kong, and unlike Kong, did not have its ribs broken. So that's pretty interesting. However, Godzilla is weakened here from the EMPs, so he probably was weaker than he was in his GVK state, and obviously his base 2014 state, or maybe right at around the same level, since we determined that 2014 is slightly above and at best equal to GVK. However, essentially something to bring up is also that Godzilla is holding back against Kong.
It's almost like a foregone conclusion to a certain degree that Godzilla is going to win, but the real question is Kong going to survive? And you look at Godzilla really carefully, like he knows that he's kind of just playing with Kong the entire time. You know, like if you look at the ship battle fight, they have that kind of like moment where Kong is almost drowned and he's like laying on the boat and Godzilla shows up and they're kind of staring each other down. Godzilla's kind of laughing at him and like, okay, you know, like just stay right there and we're good, you know. And I think the whole time, like Godzilla kind of thinks that they're sort of having fun. You know, if Kong dies, whatever, he doesn't really care, but like he's not really too worried.
So Godzilla isn't trying against Kong. He is killing, like he's trying to kill Kong, but he isn't necessarily going all out. Like he's just kind of toying with him. And Godzilla's weakens against the Mutos. Both of these things are unquantifiable, so for simplicity's sake, let's just say they kind of cancel each other out, so we don't give an unfair advantage to both sides, and neither are really quantifiable anyways, so while a single Muto does get overpowered quicker and Kong can last longer, they're definitely more durable individually, as we know that Kong would die from a single strike of the atomic breath, and got fucked by the stomp, as I mentioned before, while the female Muto can take those things better. However, the charged axe does present an issue, as we obviously know that the atomic breath can kill them, to the point where it could, and obviously, you know, it's Godzilla's atomic breath and the charged axe. So if Kong gets a good hit with the charged axe, he could definitely kill one of them in a 1v1. However, this is a 2v1, and a 2v1, he'd get pretty easily overwhelmed. The constant stabbing would definitely hurt Kong if it can pierce Godzilla's skin and leave those massive marks on him. No reason it wouldn't do the same to Kong as well. These attacks would do extremely serious damage to Kong, leaving like massive wounds on him. Would probably kill him if they're ganging up on him. So I don't think Kong would be able to counter if the two Mutos are able to relentlessly essentially gang up on him and jump him. The only way I see Kong winning here is if he essentially does what Godzilla does, and essentially he forces the two Mutos, or specifically the humans, force the two Mutos away from each other, and Kong could maybe just 1v1 them. Though, even that's debatable, since the Mutos are more durable than Kong, and their strikes would do significant damage to him. So it would be close. However, mainly with the charged axe, I think Kong would win the 1v1, since I don't think the Mutos can really fucking disarm it from him, right? But something to also bring up is the Kamazat and Muto Prime statements. Kong just does not upscale off of Muto Prime. The Muto Prime statements, as we know, Drew is more valid than Arvid, and Drew essentially says that Muto Prime would one-shot Kong, and the Kamazat stuff was taken back. So, well, overall, Kong could definitely win in a 1v1 situation due to the axe. However, in a 2v2 situation, he just simply gets overwhelmed. It's something he can do with two beings that can not only tank attacks better than him, but also would have attacks that would be able to significantly harm Kong and go deep into his flesh. So overall, like, I think this is a pretty close fight. In a 1v1, it's like Kong a mid to high diffing, maybe low diffing if you want to be that, if you go with Kong's higher ends. However, in a 2v2, Kong doesn't stand much of a chance when he gets overwhelmed and ganged up on.